Live, everybody. Welcome. Kicking things off on InDesign Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. All right. Let me go ahead and get the comments up over here so I can see what you guys are saying. And we're live. We're ready. We're here. Welcome, everyone. Renee, SJC30, welcome all the folks joining me on the InDesign channel as well. And Colleen is here from Cape Town, Mark Kilgore, and Rachel has a question right off the bat that we'll get to in just a second, but I just want to welcome everybody else. Welcome to InDesign Tuesday. My name is Terry White, Worldwide Design and Photography Evangelist for Adobe. It's my pleasure to be streaming to you live on this Tuesday. With a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and that is animating InDesign documents. I love animating InDesign documents. I think it's a cool thing to do. Hang on one second, though. This particular window looks like it's not showing me all that's there. Okay, there you are. Spencer, Juan, Marcin, Victoria, DeFeer, welcome. Welcome. Renee, what's going on? Okay, so I can do shout outs all day or we can get to the topic. So if I didn't call your name, welcome. Austin, Mark, Wolfgang, Keith, everybody else, welcome. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? So like I said, Rachel asked a question before we even started, so let me go ahead and answer that. I'm looking for your best suggestion for an suggestion of the interactive PDF replacement without a third-party investment. Should I use InDesign? The short answer is yes, but that's kind of what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about how to make your InDesign document a little bit more interactive with some animation, but certainly you can go further with form fields and buttons and all kinds of things to make it interactive. And then we'll talk about the output towards the end that would be a replacement for interactive PDF. So yes, that is the answer is yes, you would use InDesign instead. All right, so let me switch over to my computer so you guys can see what I'm doing. And as I always like to do whenever I can, I like to start from scratch because that's what most of you will be doing. And so I've got no InDesign document open. I'm going to show you, before we even open a document, something you should do when you're going to work on interactive InDesign documents, and that is switch your workspace to one that's more conducive to interactive design. So if you go up to your workspace menu, you'll see, I've got a few that I've added, but you'll see Advanced, Book, Digital Publishing, Essentials, Essentials Classic, Interactive for PDF, which I don't recommend doing these days, Printing and Proofing, Typography. All right, let's take care of the elephant in the room first and foremost. Why not interactive PDF? It's an Adobe standard. Why would Terry not want us to use that anymore? Yeah, speaking in the third person, I shouldn't do that. Anyway, why shouldn't you use this anymore? It's because back in the day when interactive PDF was good, it was good for two reasons. Number one, all the animations and all the interactivity were Flash-based inside the PDF. And as you know, we've transitioned away from Flash. Like, people don't really design for Flash that much anymore. And we don't use our technologies. We don't design for Flash anymore. That's number one, but let's get rid of that. That's not the bigger problem. The bigger problem is back in the day when interactive PDF was hot, it's because everyone had the same experience. What I mean by that is you'd create an interactive PDF and you knew if you put it out there, everyone would see your interactivity. Everyone would be able to experience the same thing because everyone was opening it in the Adobe Reader, the free reader. So that meant that guaranteed the experience would be exactly as you intended because they're looking at it in a tool that supported all the interactivity, all the stuff you're doing. Now, a lot of platforms like iOS, Windows, Mac OS have PDF built into the operating system. So therefore, Adobe Reader is not required to view a PDF. And because all PDF readers or support isn't the same, some features might work on one platform or one application, some don't. So now that whole everybody sees the same thing is falling apart. That's why I don't recommend you going out to author interactive PDF, unless it's a closed environment and you're sure everybody's going to have the reader and everybody's going to use it that way, great. But if you're just putting them on the web and anyone can view it, some people will never ever see your interactivity. They'll never see the stuff in an interactive PDF. So that's why I don't use that format and haven't for years. All right, but anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to switch to digital publishing instead. What digital publishing workspace will do is it will give us all of these panels that we need to make our PDF interactive. So it's giving us everything we kind of need right off the bat. Now, of course, you can still go get your paragraph styles and character styles and all the other panels you want, and then you can create your own workspace with everything you need. But that way, you get the ones you're going to need right off the bat. And thank you, Hero Artist, for saying my video setup is magic. Can't find this menu. It's this menu right here in the top. So you should have a workspace menu, and digital publishing should be there. If you don't, I don't know why. All right, so next up, and it might not spell out digital publishing. It might look, or whatever it says, it might just be a little square, but it's an icon somewhere up here in the right-hand corner that would be your workspace menu. All right, next. A document. Now you can animate any document you have. You don't have to, I'm going to use a template. You don't have to use a template. I'm just using a template to speed up the design part because we're not doing the design from scratch. We're talking about the interactivity from scratch. So I could pull up one that's beautifully designed, that's already interactive and show you that, but I think I'd rather show you something that you could do from scratch and you can copy. So let's go up to the File menu. Let's come down to New Document. And when you come down to New Document, of course, it will start off on your recents, your saved formats, and then you have these three: print, web, and mobile. These are what contain your templates. Now, print, that's obvious. That's for a document that's going to be printed or destined to print at some point. Web, that's the one we're talking about today. We're going to actually use a template from the web category because that means that these documents were intended to go to the web at some point via the Publish Online feature. And of course, mobile, like what would mobile be? Because InDesign doesn't really make an app. It doesn't make an app that you can run, but it does make an ePub that you can run on a mobile device. So that's what this is for. All right, so we're going to go to web, and the one that I'm going to use is, I already grabbed it, but let me find it here. We're going to use Vivid Presentation Layout. It was at the bottom earlier. Now it's at the top. All right, the check mark means I've already downloaded it. So when you click on this, this is a free template. Yours will say download. Mine says open because I've already got it. And you can use this template for anything you want, as much as you want, whenever you want. It's not like locked in stone. The other reason I like this particular layout, and this is something to think about when you're going to make an interactive document that you're going to share online, how will people be viewing that? Will they be viewing it on a tablet or a computer? Therefore, wide format might be better. If you think your audience is destined to view it on a phone, maybe a portrait layout is more applicable. It really depends on what you think people will do the most. So I'm going to go to Vivid Presentation Layout because it is wide. It is a wide format, and there it is. Now, of course, this is a template. It does not have all the pictures and everything that you saw in the browser, but it's got all this stuff that you can customize and you can do whatever you want to do with. So this is pretty cool. It's a nice document to start with. Now, one of the things I kind of thought was neat on this document is it's got a space for your logo. Of course, you'd replace that with the real logo or not, delete it and do whatever you want. And then it's got these little faded out circles that are just part of the design. And again, you don't have to use those. You don't have to use them in that color. You can delete them, not use them, do whatever you want. It's just a template. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to use anything in here. You can select all and hit delete and delete the whole page if you want, and then put your own in. So just, I'm reinforcing that a template does not mean, oh, I got to put my logo in the middle because that's what the template said. Nope. If you want everything, if you want the logo in the upper right, lower right, upper or lower left, upper left, in the middle, wherever you want, put it wherever you want, or you don't want the logo at all. But let's, now that I get off the template soapbox, let's go on and talk about animating. So here's what I want to happen when this page loads. I'm not even going to replace the logo, but I want the logo to load. I want this little, can I get to this little element? Oh, I don't even know what this rule is. Oh, it might be on the master page. So that little line here, or it might be locked. I'm not sure what this is because it is a template. I don't see anything locked. It may be on the master page. Here, let's go to the master page. Nope, it's not on the master page either. I don't know what that line is. Maybe it's part of something else. It's not part of that. It's not part of, oh, it is part of that. Okay, so see, it was part of something. All right, so this and this are, that's just a rule above, and then we got this dot. So what I want to happen is I want the logo to appear, then this stuff to appear, and then the dots to appear when the person goes to this page. So that's the first animation that I want to do. All right, next, let's get out of that and let's go to the animation panel. So the animation panel is where this all begins. So first I'm going to click on the logo and I'm going to say that I want to, and it just calls it circle because it doesn't know what it is. I'm going to say that circle animates in by doing a fade in. All right. Then just for kicks, I'm going to do this. Now I would normally fade this in too, but just to show you something different, I'm going to bring in that line below and I'm going to say that that flies in from the bottom. Okay. Normally I would say fade, but let's do that just for now. Then I kind of want these circles to be fading in while the person is still on the page. So I select that one, fade in. Select this one next, fade in. It animates in the order you do things. So try to remember that. If you want something to be second, make it second. If you want something to be third, make it third. All right, fade in. And I don't have to do all of these. Some of them can already be on the page and the other ones are just kind of fading in the background. But let's fade that one in. Let's fade this one in next. Oh, that one's already done. Let's fade this one in next. All right, this big one is done. That one's done. Is this little one done? No, the little one's not done. Fade in. And then I'm going to have this come in, fly in from the top. Okay, now, great. How do I see it? How do I see if what I did looks the way I want it to look? All the way at the bottom of any of these panels is this little preview icon. This little preview icon will bring up a window to show you what your animation is going to look like. So I just click the preview and mine came in big because I had already resized it and it's doing all the little things I told it to do. All the little circles are coming in next and it's great. It's exactly what I wanted. And then the little home thing came in last. All right, so if I hit play one more time, we can see it. Logo fades in, bottom slides up, circles start to fade in, and the top comes in eventually. There it is. Beautiful, except people were impatient. So that's why I did the logo first, because I kind of wanted people to see the company and what it's about first. They may not wait for that home to come in at the very end. So I could either animate it sooner or make some of the circles make them so they don't all, they don't come in one after another. Maybe 2 or 3 of them come in together. So to do that, let's get out of the preview for a minute. Just going to close it. So make sure I'm closing the right thing. Close it. And then there's another panel called timing over here on the right-hand side. That's why I had you bring up this workspace because it has everything in it you'll need. So we're going to go ahead and bring in timing. And then what timing will do is it'll show you a list of everything in your document. So circle was first, the logo, then that little saying underneath that we would change to say whatever we wanted to say, then all the circles, and then home. Well, let's say that these first, I don't know, 4 circles, I want to come in together. I don't want them to one after another, after another, after another. So when I select the ones that I want to come in together, I click link. And they don't have to be one after another. I can make a discontiguous selection. I can say that one, holding down my command key on the Mac, control key on Windows, I could do it that way and say that those are linked together. So I click the little link icon, that linked them together, then I can go ahead and do the rest. And I can say that those are linked together. Or I could do 3 groups or 4 groups. So I can have them come in groups instead of one by one. So now if we play that, that's what this will look like. Logo comes in, that slides up, a bunch of circles come in at the same time, then home comes down. That makes it go faster. And you can also change, if we go back to one of these, let's say that we want that one. If we go back to the animation panel, right now the duration for that animation is 1 second. So each one of those took a second to come in. If there were 10 things, the whole thing would take 10 seconds. You don't have to have a second. You can go down to a half second. You can make them come in faster so that they don't take up time. I find that people have very little patience for intros or intro videos or intro animations. So faster is better. Make things come in quicker. And of course, you can have them loop. They can keep coming, or they can have them play more than once, or keep looping. So they keep fading in, and then you probably want to add another animation to have things fade out. So now you have these circles kind of fading in and fading out as the person stays on this page. Okay, so that's one way to animate. Now let's get a little bit fancier. Let's go to the next page. And this one's kind of cool because it's already got this rule here. And this rule is just begging. It's asking, it's begging to come in from the bottom. Let's select it. Did I have it selected? Okay, got it selected now. And let's fly that in from the bottom. So that line will just go straight up into the document. Great. Next, I want the word topics to come in from the left, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in and do the preset, fly in from the left. Great. And here's the thing that you may not have noticed the first time when I did home earlier. You may not have noticed this green path. That's the way it will fly in. So if we preview that, the line slides up, topic slides in. So cool. But it can even be cooler. You can even make things go a little fancier or do something that isn't just a single direction. So for example, you've got the ability, is InDesign with animation capability an adequate replacement for Adobe Muse? I wouldn't think so, because Adobe Muse was designed and still is designed to create web pages and a whole site from scratch. If you have a very, 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 very simple need, then yes, this could be a replacement, but it is definitely not a direct replacement for InDesign. I'm sorry, for InDesign is not a direct replacement for Muse. And by the way, I still use Muse to this day. It still works. And support was guaranteed for 2 years. So I'm not in any hurry to look for a replacement because it still does what I need to do. Anyway, we got this green path that this is flying along straight from the left. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. We can go to the pen tool. You can go to the pen tool in InDesign and you can click and drag and add. Oh, sorry. I didn't do it on the path. Hold on. There we go. Pen tool. Oh, and I did the wrong tool. We want to add an anchor point. There we go. Add anchor point tool. And am I not clicking on it? Maybe I don't want to add an anchor point. Maybe I do want that. There we go. Why is this not doing what I want it to do now? Should be add anchor point. I just did this a minute ago and it was fine. I'm not sure why now it's not. It says it wants to do it, but it's not. All right, hang on for a minute. Let's try this. You should be able to add points along that path. And for whatever reason, mine is not letting me edit it at all. Okay, I can select the path that time. Okay, now it's doing it. Okay, the path wasn't selected. All right, now the path is selected. I should be able to go in. There we go, and add points along that path. And I can bend those points. I can add anything I want. All right, let's undo, undo, undo. Let's put it back to the way it was. It is selected now. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. And like that. Okay, so now with my direct selection tool, just like any other Bezier curve, I can adjust it. I can bend it. I can have it drop down. I can have these curves work any way I want. I can use my trying to get the exact point. There we go. I can use the Bezier handles and move this, move this point around any way that I want. There we go. That's what I was trying to get. Okay, so now that I got that with this little wavy thing going on there, if I preview it this way now, this is what it will look like. Line goes up and topics kind of swoops in. And again, it's doing it quick because A, it's a short path, and B, because it's only 1 second. So it's doing it for 1 second no matter what you do to it. So if I close that and I were to move it over, we'll see what happens. The path goes with it, but we can adjust that. We can, hang on, undo. Just want to get the path itself. There we go. Select just that point and move that point over. So I want to have it come in from the top all the way up here. And then move this one. There we go. And then really exaggerate that curve and really exaggerate that curve. And now let's see what it looks like. Preview, line flies up from the bottom and topics bounces in. Why is it so quick? Why is it not smoother? Well, let's take care of that. So if we go over to the properties here for the animation, we can twirl down the properties and we can do a couple of things. So number one, we can also, we're doing opacity, fade in, scale width. We can also have it scale up as it does it. And we can also make it maybe take 2 seconds since that's a little bit more elaborate of an animation. So let's do this, maybe 50%. All right. Oh, no. I want to animate to. This is my animate to. So yes, I do want to animate to 100%. If I were doing here, let's see. Run preset. Yep, that's what I want to current position. Just checking to make sure I got everything set the way I want. Okay, we can also rotate it for kicks. Let's rotate it a negative 15 degrees. All right, let's see what that looks like. I may like it, I may not. There we go. So then just by changing that 15-degree increment, it came in, bounced, and did 15 degrees. So straight in, adjusting the path, adding points to the path, curving the path, doing whatever you want to the path will affect the way your object comes in. You don't want the rotation, just simply change it back to 0. And now when it comes in, it'll come in like you told it. All right. Cool. Let's bring up timing. And there's nothing else that I want for timing to do. Yeah, there's nothing else. Oh, one more. Well, there's one more thing. One more thing is the animations play one after another. I showed you how to group them together on the previous page. One last thing is that you can also have specific objects delay. So if you're trying to create an effect where people read something, you don't want the next thing to come in before they get a chance to read the first thing. So if I want it, let's say I want it, let's get out of this. Let's say I wanted this to come in next, this whole paragraph. Let's go back to animation and let's fade that in. Okay, then I'll go back to timing and I can say delay it for 2 seconds. So now we preview this. Line's going to go up. Thing's going to bounce in. 2 seconds, and then the text comes in. So, oh, and I did it on the wrong one. Hold on. Did I do it on the right one? Yep, that's why that delayed. Okay, so let's go back to that. That should be 0. And it should be this one for 2 seconds. Thought that looked strange. All right, now let's try it. Play, line goes up, text bounces in, 2 seconds, that fades in. So if you want that dramatic effect where you're guiding people as to what they should look at next, you can use the delay as a way of doing that. All right, so you got an idea of what the animations are, what they can do, how timing works. And again, there's a lot more of just interactivity you can apply. Things like buttons and forms, hyperlinks if you want people to click on it to navigate the document or click to navigate to websites, you can add hyperlinks. But let's talk about your output. So in order for people to be able to see this animation, it needs to be in a form that they can see it. So that either means on the web or in an ePub. So luckily, InDesign can do both. If I only had these 2 pages, no sense exporting the rest, so I'm just going to delete the rest for now. Or actually, you know what? I'll just only export the first 2. So first one is online. I'm going to do a save first just to save this out. Let's save this out as test Annie. All right, and now that we did that, let's go ahead and do a publish online. That's the button in the upper right-hand corner. You can also get to it from the file menu. And publish a new document. I'm not updating an existing one. Page range. I don't want all pages. I just want 1 to 2. Export as single pages. I can allow people to download it as a PDF for print. It won't be animated, but they can download it if they want, if I choose that. And I can hide and share embed options if I don't want people to use it and give it to other people. All right, so that's it. So I'll hit publish. And it's uploading, it's doing its thing, and it's done. So now I have a link that I can copy and give to anyone in the world. As long as they have a web browser on any device, they'd be able to view it. I can view it myself. And here it comes, hopefully with some animations. Yep, there's an animation, there's an animation, there's an animation, and there's an animation. And if I go to the next page, animations, just like we designed them, 2-second delay, and there's our text, just like we designed it in InDesign. Okay, so that's one way. The second way to get this InDesign document in people's hands animated is to now export it out as an ePub. So ePub fixed layout uses a file format called ePub 3.0, or using that standard. And that will support the animations. It will keep the layout exactly as you designed it. It will not reflow anything. That's why we do fixed layout instead of reflowable. And as long as they have an eBook reader on their device, iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, whatever it is, there are tons of free readers out there. They can go ahead and view this document. So for example, on the Mac and iOS side, since I know many of you are on that side, iBooks would be able to open this document up on mobile devices or desktop and be able to review it. Windows and Android don't necessarily come with standard readers like that, but you can certainly download them for free. Okay, Rowena says, oh my God, amazing. Can you export these as GIFs? No, not directly. You can't export it as GIFs, can't export it as video, but you can include video. I could place a video in my document. My video would play online or on the ebook. Let me quickly, real quick, if I can find it here, before I let you go. CC demo files, InDesign, there we go. And what I'm looking for here is the Playfest souvenir booklet. All right, so if we preview this one, all right, I'm not sure why it jumped to that page. Hang on a minute. Maybe this one's not as done as I thought it was. All right, this one's only showing me page 6 for some reason. All right, let me try a different one. That might not be the one that's finished. Open. This one, there we go. Yep, activate that font, awesome. Come on, there we go, activate, and now let's preview it. There we go, yeah, this one's got the animations in it. All right, so I can see the animation come in. I don't know, oh, you know why? I didn't tell it to play the whole document, hold on. So if I go to the next page, it's only going to preview one page at a time, but what I wanted to show you, that's an interactive slideshow. Here's a video. All right, so if I wanted to preview this page, there we go. Text flies in. Here's a video that plays. There's audio. You may or may not be able to hear it. Here are links that go to the various social media sites. Animation playing in the background. Video playing. And this is just all from an InDesign document. I don't need to know how to code. I don't need to know how to do anything else but hit export or publish online and share my interactivity with everyone. All right, with that said, I want to thank everyone. Oh, Anne-Marie Concepcion is here. I want to thank everyone for coming in. And yep, I taught ePub. I always show something on ePub. But I want to thank everyone for coming in. And special guest Anne-Marie Concepcion is here. You guys should go follow her. She is the InDesign goddess. Does a million things with InDesign and even presents at InDesign conferences. So go check her out, Anne-Marie Concepcion. And with that said, cheers everybody. Thanks for watching. And I will catch you on the next one. Go animate your InDesign documents. Publish them online. Make eBooks. Make things cool. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.